making turkey, and I'd like to show a recipe that I like to use for turkey gravy. So how I begin this is I start with my turkey, and I would take the drippings and the liquid that came from cooking it, and I'm going to put it in a measuring cup, about a little bit more than 1 cup full. And I'm going to have a little bit of meat inside of that, and I'm going to put that on the stove, and I'm going to mix it with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of water. And then you just warm it up on the stove on low, and then you have your perfect turkey gravy. So we have our drippings for our turkey that we made, about 1/4 of a cup, 300 ml. And we're just going to warm it up. I do have a little bit of meat in here. And you can use a whisk or a fork. And my drippings are a little bit cold, so it's going to have to be warmed up. And then we're going to use about a tablespoon of cornstarch. And if you want, you could put a tablespoon of water in. You can combine the tablespoon of water and cornstarch together, or you can put them in separately, whichever is your preference. This does make excellent turkey gravy. It should take about 10-15 minutes to do this for it to be all nice and warm. Here's your cornstarch, and it's going to just thicken the gravy and the sauce. And you want to put this on, just sprinkle it at a time. You don't want to put the whole tablespoon in at once. You just want to sprinkle a little bit, and you want to have your gravy on low or medium low at the most. What type of gravy is your favorite? Do you like turkey gravy or gravy when you're making a beef roast? I recently made gravy with a beef roast. I took the drippings that were in the crock pot and made it in a crock pot, and I did the same recipe: 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of water. It was excellent. And you can just use that recipe for any type of gravy you're making: turkey gravy, chicken gravy, or beef gravy from your beef roast. It works well every time. And then you can also make breakfast gravy, and that's an interesting recipe. You can use your sausage. You make sausage on the stove, and then you take the grease from the pan, you keep that on the pan, and then you make a roux with flour, and it turned out great. So we're ready to add some of the cornstarch, and you just add a little bit at a time. And then you let that melt a little bit, and then when that's melted, you add more until your whole tablespoon is gone. And you want to cook this on a low heat, never too warm, because you don't want it to burn. We just had Thanksgiving, and it was wonderful, 2021. And turkey gravy, it's fantastic with your turkey dinner. And we're just going to warm it up until it's done. Thank you for watching. Perfect gravy every time. Fill-proof recipe. I added just a little tiny bit more water to add more gravy. So I didn't think I had enough water in it. And thank you for watching. Meat in there. Nice to have a little extra meat in there to go on top. Never lumpy, ever. Never lumpy gravy with this recipe. Always perfect. Not too thick, not too thin, just perfect. Merry Christmas!